1983. Remember this pattern I'm telling you about? Like 73 was a recession.
Yeah.
Well, in 83, there's another massive recession in the UK.
Wow.
And I don't know it at that time. We were little kids.
So you're about 10 years old now?
I'm 10 years old.
Okay.
But in 83, it doesn't, you know, you're 10. You have no idea what's going on. I'm just telling you what I picked up on about a month and a half ago, these patterns, and just doing research and studying and reading and British history and what's really going on. We're what we call Margaret Thatcher's forgotten children. And, you know, so we were 10 and all of us grew up in this area, which is called the London overspill. It's not formally called the London overspill, but it is the London overspill. So basically the British people built these housing projects. It's what they call in America projects in outskirts of London. So we're 60 miles north of London, and a lot of us grew up in that area. This place was built in 1968 through the early 70s, and a lot of the people that were there are poorer members of the Greater London area. Okay. So they're basically, if you were below the poverty line or below the poverty belt, you were placed in council housing. Wow. So this is government run housing and stuff.
And this is real poverty, by the way.
This is, in British terms, they don't realize that they're poor because it's such a government handout system over there. Does that make sense?
So you guys went from kind of real poverty, where like a home that had like no furniture, to government poverty, basically. Yeah, something along those lines. And it was crazy because my dad was just trying to do whatever he could, you know, to put food on the table. Of course. He worked at Telford's, the sandwich factory in Northampton, and my mom worked at a leather skiving factory, and because that's where shoes are made. Doc Martens are made by there in Northampton. Yeah. Oh wow.
In Northamptonshire, actually, Doc Martens. So that's kind of famous, right?
Yeah. Right. In the 90s, those are very famous.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And my mom used to work at Avon factory, making the cosmetics. So she smelled like perfume when she'd come home from work in the factory in the evening shift. And around Christmas time, right about now, she'd be working at Cadbury's chocolate factory. Wow. And that was the only time we ever got chocolates. They say that British people have bad teeth, right? And I was joking around with my mum the other day, and she got pissed off at me because I said, "Mum, the reason why we have nice teeth is because we couldn't afford sweets, all right? That's why I got nice teeth, right?" Everyone
so blessing turned into a burden,
I guess so, right? Because they say the British people have bad teeth, right? Yeah.
That's kind of true. I don't know.
I know. But she got mad at me because you don't. Anyways, I don't want to piss her off, right? But yeah, man, it just all of us grew up in an area where it was rough. You know, we what can I say? It's like when you're a young kid, you don't know what skinheads are. Yeah. You just know that if you see one, you run, or you do the best you can not to be seen, right? Because they tend to beat the crap out of you, right?
So skinheads was a big problem growing up in where you grew up.
It was the norm,
right?
It makes sense. Skinheads was a scene that was happening in the late 70s, early 80s. That was the norm. There was that was going on. That was part of the British culture,
right?
Yeah, National Front was a huge thing over there, and what was really going on was these people that, you know, were in the working class were pissed off with immigrants like my dad and mum who were taking their jobs, right?
So kind of like with the lie they say about Mexicans taking people's jobs here in the United States, right? They were pissed off because they were upset that they were thinking that the immigrants were taking their jobs back then.
Yeah, and the thing is, the British underclass, you know, these people are accustomed to benefits. They're accustomed to welfare, and that's normal for them. They actually, it's a right. That's their mentality. They have rights to that benefit. And if you're not British or born British, or if you ain't white, you ain't right, is one of the things that they say over there.
If you ain't right, you ain't right.
Wow. You know, they would be pissed off of you. You know, so that's kind of like what was going over there.